Kids, Heidi here. Welcome back to my channel where we talk about reselling mostly clothes, mostly on eBay and Poshmark. And it's the end of the year, the beginning of the year, the new year where we always start thinking about what's this new year going to be like and want to have an effect on it. So I put a comment or a question out on my community page and on Instagram asking, my headline was, I'll do better next year. What things people wanted to change in the reselling business for 2024. And I noticed some themes, and I want to talk about what I watched a lot of videos. I read your comments. I read the comments on other videos, and I discovered some themes. Most people talked about things that they have a feeling about, I think, and not that they have data about. For example, I can't remember seeing any videos where someone said, I bought X of this brand and I only sold X of this brand, so I'm not going to pick that brand up anymore. They just reported it, and I hope that they checked, because how we feel about things and what the numbers actually say are most of the time very different. But so mostly people were talking about wanted to feel better about certain things, I think, rather than changing the numbers. A few people said they wanted to be more organized or get their death piles listed or amp up their eBay. Hardly anybody mentioned that they wanted to be more consistent or they wanted to get better at photographs or better at listings. The overriding theme was, we want to be better buyers. There's a saying in business, in a particular industry, that goes like this: you make your money when you buy, not when you sell. And that industry is real estate. And reselling used clothes on the internet and investing in real estate are very different business models. Unless you're a property flipper, then they're very similar. But the you make your money when you buy, not when you sell, really applies to real estate. For most of us, we are what is called a value-added seller, which many retailers are, where you buy something, you either change its location or improve its condition, which adds value, then you expose it to a larger audience so that you can realize that value. For example, value added. Granite in the ground has a certain value. Granite that has been quarried and stacked up at the edge of the quarry has a higher value. Granite that has been transported to a city has more value. Granite that has been cut up into countertops has more value. And granite that is a countertop installed in your kitchen has the highest value of all. So each of the people who touched the granite along the way marked it up because they were adding value. They moved it and changed its condition over the course of the life of the granite. So adding value is something that we do. Most of the easiest added value is we take it from a rack in a thrift store in a small town where a few hundred people may see it, and we put it on a digital platform on the internet where millions of people could see it. And that makes it more valuable because finding the person who'll pay is more likely. So we are not real estate investors where we buy, operate, and hold long-term the things that we buy. Well, sometimes we hold them long-term, but they're not generating rent, if you see my point. So it's important to not make too many mistakes when you buy, but it isn't the main driver, in my opinion. But here's what you said, you and everybody else on YouTube said about buying. You don't want to buy things just because they're cheap. And I want to say, why? What's the experience that happened? You bought something that you shouldn't have bought just because it was cheap? Then you need more criteria, right? It has to meet 4 out of 5 of your factors. Not buying simply because of the brand. We all occasionally get struck with brand goggles and go home with someone that we wouldn't have gone home with if they didn't have that great label, right? Not buying simply because it's new with tags. Some people only want to buy what they like. That would be hard for me because I don't think very many people want to buy gray sweatshirts. Many people talked about brands they're not buying anymore. They always had a footnote, a caveat, a disclaimer. Well, maybe I would if it was special. And that should be true of everything. It should be special. Many people talked about categories they're not buying anymore. They're not buying plush. They're not buying toys. They're not buying swimwear. They're not buying jeans. They're going to only do jeans. You see, people want to feel better about what they're buying in a minute. Some other themes, people would like to sell things faster. The components of speed are demand and price. They want to sell for more profit. I don't know if that means buying lower, selling higher, or both, which that would be ideal, wouldn't it? Many more people want to like what they sell. A lot of people talked about they want to do more live selling. And not everybody said why. But one person said, so she can shop more. She likes to shop. It's her favorite thing. And if she sells on Whatnot, then she can sell it fast and go buy more. That makes me feel tired. Many people have brands they're not buying anymore. And I hope they've checked their data several times. I have a spreadsheet with every item I've ever purchased, where I bought it, what I paid, when I sold it, and what platform I sold it on and for what price. So yeah, it's a big spreadsheet. It's actually in 2 pieces now. But sometimes I'll get an idea. I'm not going to pick up blank anymore. I said that about Banana Republic. And it turned out that I've sold almost all the Banana Republic I ever bought. Wasn't great, but every item was profitable. Some of the items were great. A great long Codigan sweater sold for, $40 or whatever. But I'd sold almost everything I'd bought. So why did I get the idea that I shouldn't buy it anymore? I don't know. So check your own data. And if you don't have that data, then you are in a pickle. If you don't know how many Madewell pieces you have bought in your life and how many you've sold, then the only thing that's telling you to stop buying Madewell is a feeling. But again, not everybody likes spreadsheets, so you can't always do that. Or your volume is so high that it doesn't make sense to do that. So back to sourcing. Here's some myths I think that many of us believe in. And you think that you're not good at sourcing or that you're making mistakes about sourcing. First of all, I believe that a sale consists of the right item at the right price when the right buyer sees it at the right moment. The right buyer could see your item, but they don't have any extra money this week, so they don't buy. The right buyer could see your item and it's more than they want to pay. The right buyer could say, oh, that's exactly what I want, but it's navy blue instead of black, so it's not the right item. You see all the factors that it takes to succeed? It's a wonder we ever sell anything. The right item at the right price, at the right buyer, at the right moment, bingo, a sale. So that's hard to do. So one of the myths is that if you weren't making mistakes in your sourcing, that you would never have old or stale inventory. Okay, TJ Maxx is full of the buying mistakes of major clothing retailers all around the world. TJ Maxx's business model is to buy the mistakes of other clothing retailers, and there's plenty of them to buy. So, and even TJ Maxx has a clearance section. So TJ Maxx makes mistakes when they buy because they can't sell everything. And sometimes you see stuff from TJ Maxx at the thrift store. Did they donate it because they couldn't even sell it at clearance? So you should cut yourself a little slack. If Target and Nordstrom and Saks Fifth Avenue have not solved the problem of buying the perfect stuff and selling every bit of it quickly, why do we think we can do that? You see? So I think I have learned to accept, and you should accept, that a certain percentage of what you buy won't ever sell. And come up with a system for dealing with it. Another myth is that if you have to accept a lower offer than you wanted, you failed or you bought the wrong thing. Let's go back to all the big clothing retailers that are making money. They all start with a price they hope to get. A certain percentage of the items sell at that price. Another percentage gets sold when it goes on sale. Another percentage gets sold when it goes on clearance. And the rest of it goes to TJ Maxx. So, if Target and Nordstrom and Saks can't sell everything, they haven't solved the problem of perfect sourcing. Neither can you. So, what am I going to do in 2024? Accept your mistakes faster. That's something I'm going to do this year. I'm going to accept more offers. I'm going to use coupons on eBay more often. Here's why I like coupons better than running a sale. If you run a % off sale on your whole store or part of it, the buyer will see the discount price. But if you have best offer turned on, they can still make you an even lower offer. If you offer a coupon on eBay, it shows up on your listing as, ooh, here's a coupon for 25% off, or 10 or 5 or 30, whatever you want to do. And they cannot use that and make an offer. The coupons are only good on full price purchases. So you get an instant click and there's no negotiating, right? So if you want to run a sale, you do a markdown and then buyers can still make you a lower offer that you have to consider and feel bad about rejecting or accepting. So I'm going to use more coupons, accept more offers, use more coupons. And I'm going to take time every month to relist or remove stale inventory. I'm pretty good about relisting, but I'm not perfect. And removing stale inventory, it's work. I have to find it and take it off my platforms and mark it off on my spreadsheet and then haul it to Goodwill. It's just easier to leave it sit there. But if it hangs on your mind and depresses you and you're like, oh, there's that mistake I made back in 1982, then you should just remove it and let it go so it stops poking you. Another thing I want to do in the future in 2024 is inspect better. I have a higher flaw rate than I feel good about. So I'm going to assume everything in the thrift store has a flaw, and I have to find it. Then I'll decide if I want to take it home or not. And if it's that rare bird that, no, it's actually great, then win. But I'm going to inspect everything as though the person donated it because there was something wrong. I'm going to keep learning. I'm going to set aside time each week in my planner to learn so that when I source, it's better. One way you could, if you love the fashion, you could focus on fashion blogs and finding out what the trends are so that you can source to the trends. You can look on your favorite stores' websites for new brands that they're carrying. A Tuckerneck is one I just discovered recently that has a lot of brands that I would love to find. But it could be Saks or Nordstrom or whatever you think you might find in your area. Look at those stores' websites. Or you could study recent sales in various categories and brands on the platforms that you like to use. The secondary thrifted market is always lagging behind. So if there's a hot new brand this year, it's probably not in the thrift stores right now. If there's a hot new style, you're going to have to adapt because it's not in the thrift stores yet. So we're always lagging behind, and we hope that a trend lasts long enough that we can take advantage of it. I also plan to do more studying of my own sales. If I think that I should stop buying J. Jill, I should look at all my data on J. Jill and say, is it working or is it not working? And then trust that rather than I have a feeling, boy, I just keep buying J. Jill and I never seem to sell J. Jill. I need to look at my own data and understand if that's true or not. Most of the time when I check out my feelings, I've been wrong. So you could try a new brand. You could try a new style aesthetic if you really focused on buying things you like. And again, Buying only buy things that you know you will list. That's certainly true. But if you can only list things that you love, know that you're limiting your market. Do you want to try men's? Do you want to try kids? Do you want to try hard goods? That's a way of growing your business by expanding your offerings. Do you want to try a new platform? I don't. Here's some things I learned in 6 years that have been the most successful, and I want to share with you. Things that are listed sell better than things that are not listed. Things that are listed sooner sell sooner than things I wait. Things that are scarce, in demand, and valuable are hard to find. Of course, we all want to find more, better stuff that everybody wants that sells for a big price. That's hard to find, and I'm going to accept that. I just checked eBay data, women's top used. The average selling price for a used top on eBay in the last 90 days is $16.57. So if I sell most of mine for $25 and up, I'm successful. And I think that if you look at your numbers, you'll identify really where you need to change. And then you'll accept where you don't need to change. And you will have fun in your business and make more money. That's what I have to say about 2024. I had fun. I hope you did. I hope I wasn't too bossy. We'll see. Please share in the comments the one thing you're working on this week to improve your business. And I love it when you say hi. I had fun. See you next time. Bye, kids.